Balance is very important. So I kind of signed the contract right away, but I wanted to do the research because I'm doing it. I have a name in Finland, yeah, reputation. I didn't want to destroy that, so I did a huge, massive 1-2 week. I just researched the company, the people behind this in Finland, like the Manu, the Gliderin, Rekola. I checked his background. I took the guys. I talked hours with them. Yeah.
So like 1 year ago, you were not here.
No, I was doing the research.
Exactly.
I was exactly these weeks I was doing it. But this is something I really recommend to everyone to do, because once you do the research yourself, you become credible. People trust you because you trust yourself that you're doing the right thing. And it's not like you Google Zinzino and you find some stuff, yeah? You have gone to the official information and the websites like bioactive foods and places. So you know how direct selling marketing works. You know it's a growing business. So after that, I was really, my gut was loaded. You know, it's like,
you would probably be on somebody's chicken list. I mean, because there is a lot of people that we don't dare to talk to, or we're thinking they will never join. Art, you had a question there.
Yeah, clearly you would be on a lot of people's chicken list, maybe not even on their list. My question though is, who's on your list?
Yeah, I have a chicken list.
Ah.
We all do. And for me, those would be these successful businessmen who have built like millions in their business. And how do I deal with my chicken list? Is what you need to do is to talk with your upline. These people are not in their chicken list. They don't have any idea about these people. They're too famous or they're too something. They just, yeah, let's go with this guy. They have no relationship to that person. So that's how we deal with it.
But the person that actually recruited you into Zinzino, what did that person tell you?
Just boring stuff about the business. I got interested in the oil. That was the thing. And one message I want to really tell you guys is when you look at people who are like successful, famous, millionaires, whatever, they got to that point in their life because maybe they had been running in the rat wheel long enough. Yeah? Maybe they sold their soul and values to become something. Maybe they are really looking for the change. They want to do something valuable in their life. Maybe they want to change completely from one business to help people. Maybe they want to spend more time with their children. I just heard one of the partners here recruited a man who makes 30,000 euros a month. Thought it would become a customer, said, I'm going to do the business. Why on earth? You're already so rich. Because I don't want to run in the rat wheel another 20 years. I want to spend time with my kids. 3 years doing this, I'm free.
Fantastic. Kirsi, you are going to be with us for the rest of the show. And we're going to bring one more person in because 2 years ago, she was sitting in your chair. She had 0 customers. She had 0 partners. Today, 2 years later, she's a director in Zinzino. Please welcome from Sweden, Katarina Hjelm. Part of the big Swedish success team right now, I can hear. You were kind of following Zinzino for 5 years, and you didn't start in Zinzino. And then you made a shift, you made a decision, you decided to start, and now 2 years later you're a director. What happened?
I have been following my son Fredrik and his friend Patrick to many events in Zinzino. So I know I have to know the leaders in Zinzino and feel the heart in Zinzino. This time when the health products come to Zinzino, I was always in another.
You were working with another company also having health products, yeah?
Yes. So I have to take beslut.
Yeah, you made a decision, yeah.
Yes.
When, yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. 2 years director. What is your key?
What is my key? You have to take a decision to do it. But when you can see people in the eyes and they see that you mean what you say, they coming with me.
You also, thank you, that's very powerful. You also told me it was about believing in yourself, because you started to work one line.
Yes.
And you built some diamonds and some directors. So last event, like 1 year ago, you were not a director, but you have a director in your team.
Yes.
And you changed yourself to, hey, I can do that.
Yes.
And you build the other team.
Yes.
Tell me a little more about that.
Yes, 2 years ago, my son Fredrik and his friend Patrick asked me if I know some interest contacts. And yes, I do. So I take 3 people with me to the event, and 2 of them is director today.
Fantastic.
And 1 is executive.
Fantastic. We are gonna have one more guest that also have a really big passion for the product. She's a physiotherapist, she's a personal trainer, she's a health coach, and she always had a passion for nutrition. So please welcome from Norway, Diamond Silje Hellehansen. You have a pretty impressive background with physiotherapist, working as a personal trainer, doing health trainings, and your husband is an entrepreneur, so he started Zinzino doing coffee, and you were like not that interested, and then oil came, and you were all in.
Yes.
How did Zinzino accomplish your what you already was doing?
Well, in my work as a health coach, I was focusing a lot of helping people to change their habits and change their diet. It's a lot of work, and I actually realized that people, they want simple solutions, but they want the results. So when I really studied and did a lot of research on the balanced products to know that I could really go out and market it myself, that was good enough for my standard. And when I found out that it was the results that we had, because I started when we had the balance oil in a couple of 2-3 years, so I found out that the results were just amazing, and people actually want something that's really simple. So I saw the potential to help a lot more people with the balance oil. And when they use the balance oil and they get the results, then they're more ready to start doing changes, because they get the connection between nutrition and health. Because a lot of people don't have the connection or the experience that if I do something with my nutrition, I get results in my health.
Exactly. You and your husband are both building the business together. You have 2 kids. How do you time manage to do kids, family life, do the business?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
That is something that we work on all the time. But
you have date nights?
Actually, we do, yeah. You knew that we do. we had to plan actually time together, because like he's working Mondays nights and Wednesday nights, and I work Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, and then we had Friday night together. So we actually spend every Sunday night, and we have like a week planner, and we actually plan out everything. And we plan the month and, the goal setting and everything, but we actually plan every day to get everything to work.
Because the goal is residual income.
Of course, like many people talked about today, we want the freedom for our family. Yeah.
You are doing what we would call a Zinzino party. So you are like, you could get like 10 customers in one night.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people would know how to get 10 customers in one night. But you don't call it, you don't call it a Zinzino party. What do you call it?
No, actually, I don't know about the other countries, but in Norway, the word party, like you know, Tupperware and all those things, is kind of outdated. So I use the word health night or helsekveld in Norwegian.
Health night.
Health night. I don't know about
good,
health nights or something, but the main point is that they get the information, they're going to learn something about nutrition and health.
So
yeah, the connection.
You go to your customer, you get that customer to invite like 10 people in the same room, and let's say that we are those customers. What would be your opening line? What would be the first thing you were doing in that room?
Well, there are actually two things. The first thing is the person that invited the people and know them, and they probably trust that person. So I try to teach that person to transfer the trust. So when they introduce me, kind of transfer the trust. But sometimes they don't do that. They just say, "This is Celia. She's going to talk about diet thing. Here you go."
Yeah, exactly.
and then it's up to me. I think making a friend, like we heard so many times up from the stage, make a friend. And how do you do that? You ask questions. So always start like. Jens, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what is your opinion about diet and health? And then I kind of get the impression where they're at, their level of understanding the connection between diet and nutrition, and diet and health. And then I know how to present the products after that.
And then you use the Zinzino presentation.
Yeah.
And how do you close?
Well, first I go through the offers and I ask people, do you want to see the wonderful offers that we have today? Of course they want to see that. And then I go through and I always, like we've learned here, I represent the retail price first and then the subscription price. And I always use also a different word from subscription, because also in Norway, I think some people are allergic to the word subscription. So I use volume discount.
Volume discount.
Volume discount, yeah. So if you get a lot of, if you commit to buy like 10 bottles or 6 bottles, you get a better price. And then I tell them how much they will save by doing that.
Volume discounts at Serious Health Night.
Health Night, yes.
Exactly. Fantastic. We are going to have one more person. We are very proud to have this guy with us in the talk show. He has more than 45 years experience within our industry and product, and he's also an author and many other things, and you know him very well, so please welcome Dr. Paul Clayton. Thank you for coming.
I had nothing else to do.
With all your experience and all your years in this industry of nutrition, why did you choose to work with Zinzino?
Well, I've worked with a lot of different commercial entities in the pharmaceutical sector, the food sector, and the supplement sector. And I've consulted and worked for different governments. But never before have I had such an opportunity to work with people who are ethical, who are entrepreneurial, and who have allowed me to work without compromise. You know, many of the other companies I've advised will tell me, well, you have to produce a supplement, but we've only got so much money to spend. Or they'll say, we have a fashionable ingredient, which we need to put in there so we can put it on the label. The joy about working with Orion, Doug, and Hilda is that they say, what is the best that you can do? And then they let me do it. And that's such a privilege.
What is your favorite product in Zinzino?
That's like asking a parent which is your favorite child. I'm not going to say.
But how do you see the future?
Which part of the future?
The nutrition future.
Oh, the nutrition future. Well, I can see a time coming when the medical profession changes the way it educates medical students. At the moment, they're taught pharmaceutical pharmacology, which is a very old-fashioned approach. It is a post hoc crisis management model, and it's been extremely unhelpful. It's done nothing to stem the tides of ill health that are now overwhelming our public health systems. They will come to realize, I think, the importance of nutrition in reducing the risk of those diseases ever developing. And from my and other studies in blue zone nutrition and health states, we know that almost 90% of the burden of chronic ill health that we see in the West today and in the developing countries also can be avoided. The health cost savings would be enormous. And politicians aren't interested in health or people's well-being, but when you tell them they could save money, and they think, I can take some of that, then they get interested.
I have a question. We're out working with the customers, and a lot of customers, or potential customers, really trust their doctor. And they want to talk to their doctor before they answer if they want to buy these products or not. But the problem is that doctors don't have a clue about nutrition. How do we talk to these customers? What can we say to those potential customers?
You know, what a doctor hates is when a patient comes into them and reveals very quickly that they know more about their disease than the doctor does. We hate it. It puts them on the back foot. They get very defensive, they get very hostile. And it's very easy for customers, clients, patients, call them what you will, to know more about nutrition than most doctors, because most doctors are completely ignorant. I was at medical school for many, many years, more than I care to count. And in the course of the 9 or 10 years I was doing my studies, we had 4 hours of nutrition. And the situation isn't really any different today. It's no better. So if you say to your customer, go to ask your doctor about this, there's no point. I think just for politeness, let's say, yeah, go and ask your doctor. But they won't tell you anything. They're going to be very negative. They don't understand. They're scared. Tell your customers. Go and look it up for yourself. Go to PubMed. Now, PubMed is an enormous database. It contains millions of scientific papers. Millions. So go there and use as a search term, for example, polyphenol or 1316 beta-glucan. And you will see page after page after page after page of scientific studies which will tell you very clearly what these compounds are capable of doing for your health. And then when you go to see your doctor, you really will be much more of an expert than they are, which will make the situation even worse.
So actually we could help them to become more responsible for their own health instead of trusting their doctor to know everything.
Yes, you can. And to go back to Jens's question, because I think they're related, what is the future of nutrition? I think that there are a number of enlightened doctors who are looking at what they call molecular medicine, nutritional medicine, pharmaconutrition. There are different ways of describing approximately the same thing. They really are beginning to understand the importance of nutrition, and they're becoming more open to the kinds of science that I described, for example, in Out of the Fire, and a number of other really good scientists have also begun to develop. They're beginning to understand that this is the way to improve public health.
So giving your book to a doctor, that would be a good idea.
I actually did that, you see. but he never came back to me, so maybe it was his pride.
Here's the problem. I'm a clinical scientist. Most doctors are not scientists. I regard them as blue-collar workers. All they're taught is how to diagnose and how to give pills. That's what the medical profession is taught. Why? Because the medical schools are endowed by the pharmaceutical industry, and guess what? There's a vested interest there. You have to find a doctor who's already open.
We are gonna get that speed. the last word because our time is up. But before the camera turns on, the lights goes out, and we all are going home. Remember this: the opportunity is here, right now. Thank you.